Sorry I missed a Nintendo Direct because they uploaded an Among Us video at 2 AM. This kinda reminds me of when Deltarune released. Okay, so Deltarune Chapter 5 was announced, trailered, newslettered, and articled, so today I'm gonna look at everything that was released and give as much commentary / analysis as I can. So this means Toby Fox is a plant now, Pokemon grass type. Hey, it's Flowert.
Flowers! Golden flowers! Who else is a golden flower? Flowert? Flowey?
So I love these new enemies. I don't know what to say in these videos. I think they're cool or some shit. They're not bald anymore. Also, this is a really funny group of people to be fighting. Why does Little Ball look like Evil Orbsman from The Amazing Digital Circus or the Balls from Balls? 1994. See, that tagline right there is actually going to be Deltarune's tagline when it fully releases. Okay, genuinely I'm wondering if there's any point to showing these Spamton and Tennis scenes before the Chapter 5 stuff. Like, will their story be explored more in Chapter 5, or does it just look cool for the trailer? We do know from that Deltarune newsletter that there's at least one integral tennis scene about both of them in this chapter, so who knows? These creatures remind me of the Sproutmoles from Omori. I like the flower pots having smiles. A background like this for an attack looks really nice, and this enemy's overall design is just pretty cool. Hey, new area. I'm really curious what kind of buildings we'll explore in Chapter 5, especially considering many expect it to be a more open, gardeny, grovey flower chapter. And speaking of flowers, that's literally Omega Flowey's attack. It's worth noting that this attack is during the Science Soul part of the battle, representing patience. I wonder if this indicates we could play as the Science Soul. That might just be wishful thinking because we don't play as both the Science Soul or Orange Soul in Undertale, and I'm hoping Deltarune does something new, but we'll see. These backgrounds are like so much darker than what most people were expecting of Chapter 5. It makes me wonder how dark this chapter will really get, especially considering the Weird Route. Remember, that number 5 is much bigger on that Weird Route Importance Spamton Sweepstakes website. Who knows what this chapter could explore. Where was Papyrus? Okay, so that was the trailer, and I'm really excited because the wait for a new Deltarune chapter has just never been this short. I really didn't even expect it to release this June, but it's so exciting that Chapter 5 seems as polished and ready as the other chapters. Now, let's look at the newsletter. Toby Fox not including the exciting moments in the trailer makes me really wonder what the exciting moments are, because this trailer already has a lot to look at. Also, shout out Everdread for making the trailer. That's the person who made Omega Flowey, Insane in the Rain who made Undertale 10th Anniversary music for doing the music for this trailer, and Temmie for making that beautiful end art. Toby Fox saying this chapter will contrast Chapter 4's dark tone with the sunset is really interesting because 1, I wonder how dark Chapter 6 and 7, don't laugh, will get, and 2, it reminds me of a Gravity Falls detail Alex Hirsch talked about where Mabel wore a sunset sweater in the episode Dreamscapers because he believed that marked the point in the show where the series took an overall darker turn. I love the use of sunsets to indicate a fleeting final glimpse before something darker yet darker. How he describes this chapter too, let's smile again, let's have one more fun adventure. Okay? What's gonna happen at the end of this chapter when the sun sets? Whatever happens, if Toby Fox finds it fitting, I trust him as a writer enough for me to believe it'll be really great. Anyway, besides Chapter 5, there's some really cool Chapter 6, and for the first time ever, Chapter 7 is mentioned by Toby Fox. Good progress, basic gimmicks, mostly complete enemies, development going fast for Deltarune is insane. I'm a bit concerned and kinda scared by what this chapter is easier to make than the others means. Like, what'll happen in that chapter that makes it easier to create, or is it just the fact that they've made basically 5 entire ridiculously good game chapters at this point? This sounds crazy, but it's not unrealistic that some staff members may start working on Chapter 7 before the end of the year. What? When will Chapter 6 and 7 come out, bro? This will probably give really high hopes for many fans for the chapters to release sooner, and it just feels kinda crazy that after Chapter 5 releases, we'll have only 2 chapters left in this massive game. I'd have a whole retrospective speech here, but like, I'll save it for when Chapter 5 comes out. Anyway, there's also new merch. Why is Gerson Gray? This vinyl art is beautiful, and water cooler keychain. Click more if you cared. And the conclusion. Sorry to keep you waiting, but we still have to wait a little bit. Well, that's true for Chapter 5's release, but to you who's watching, you don't have to wait. I have one more thing to talk about. There was this Go Nintendo article talking about Deltarune Chapter 5 and had these screenshots from the game. One of which is from the festival. This is our first actual look at the festival. It feels really weird seeing this after seeing so many fan-made interpretations of it. Anyway, it seems to just be set in Hometown. Sans has the Nice Cream cart and has renamed Grillby's again to Ice Creams. Really curious if it'll finally be revealed that Susie is Sans' dad, which connects her to the night, causing a really great emotional parallel. Sorry, I should have said spoiler alert, and just look at how nice those dynamic borders are. This one especially is so pretty. Alright, considering I didn't really make a chapter 5 predictions video, I'll just talk about a few thoughts here, cause there's just a lot more to discuss now. I wonder how Noelle and Birdley could be involved. I think that Noelle in the normal route won't be super involved. I definitely think that the Noelle storyline in the normal route will continue, but I don't know if we'll see anything with Azriel, we'll see more of her relationship with her parents, or we'll just get some more death story. I wonder if that's one of the exciting moments Toby Fox excluded. It'll be cool to see what other characters do in the festival. It could just be a walking and talking section of the game, and obviously Deltarune's dialogue is really funny and super well written, so I'll enjoy that. But I'm hoping there's like some minigames, rides, challenges, or whatever, something fun, because like most festivals have those. How Susie talked like in the end of chapter 4 and Toby Fox talking about chapter 5 as a final sunset before the darkness in the final 2 chapters, I'm wondering if the themes of escapism will really flare up and show in this chapter. It could just really connect to so many characters. I'm wondering if it'll connect to Noelle and her fractured reality versus the fantasy of the Dark Worlds. I'm wondering how Ralsei will move forward and try to fight the war inside his mind and the actual war they're fighting against the prophecy. I'm wondering if Susie could be affected by this escapism and what she'll choose to do about it. And I'm wondering if Chris Knight will finally be confirmed. But seriously, I do think this will be the escapism chapter. Like, that's been a theme in the game already, but I believe that, alongside Asgore's refusal to accept his and Toriel's familial structure has been done, the story will really emphasize these elements here. Also, while recording this, I figured out there's this cool animation on Deltarune.com's website with blue roses. Also, the text inside of the Deltarune logo reminds me of that beam Hyperdef Azriel shoots out. Is that foreshadowing? Anyway, I don't know what these blue roses could mean. Someone figured out that in verse they're pink and gold, and hey, that's the motif of this chapter so far. And also, Asgore got Rudy roses. Man, I wonder where Deltarune Chapter 5's Dark World will take place. Other stuff people notice is this NPC having a similar stance to Asgore, even though this is kind of a common stance. This environment essentially being Deltarune, Japan, and Chris doing the Flowey attack solo. The more I think about this attack, I really do wonder how this attack will be reused in a story sense, or if Toby Fox is just messing with us. This is the same guy who used the Undertale attack pattern with a random but really cool Bell enemy. However, I do think when Toby Fox references Undertale and Deltarune, it usually does have to do with something important, like the place where it rained. That says so much about Deltarune's relationship with Undertale in both like a lore sense and also just how these two connect story-wise. Toby Fox clearly cares about this game and its story, and the attention to detail in everything he does and manages has been shown through the quality of these chapters. Not to mention how well the overall crew has been doing. They're all so great, and I'm ready to play, analyze, and discuss a whole new chapter. Alright, well, that was some Deltarune Chapter 5 announcements, predictions, articles, thoughts, reactions. I hope everybody has a good day, and please remember that Chapter 5 will feature Birdley Knight killing Sans.